Hi guys, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing a little better. Um, I've wanted to make a video. I've had a lot of anxiety about making a video just because I haven't had time to barely catch my breath or get my bearings, and it's just been difficult, but I have a lot of good news to share. A lot of things have happened. I don't even really know where to start. A lot of things were going on in my family. A couple of months ago, I shared minimally about some of that, and things are gradually going in a better direction with some of that, and um, gosh, really, I'm like, it's probably why I've had such anxiety about making a video, because so many things have happened. I don't know where to begin. Let me think. Well, I'm going to touch a little bit in this video on the subject of fear and how fear has played a big role in my life and just hindering me in my destiny and things that I should be doing, that I want to do. And well, I did share about uh, turning my upstairs area into a space where I can have a music room or art room or things like that. And we've been in kind of a financial situation for many years, and it's just been really difficult. And so sometimes, God will call you to do something before the provision actually comes, and there are, some things that you can do to take an action by faith. And so um, I I took that action and started doing what I could do, tearing out carpet, cleaning things out, garbage, and just stuff that's been acquired and forgotten, collecting dust up there, and just making it a more enjoyable space, and believing believing by faith that God would provide the funds that I need to buy equipment, all the equipment that a musician such as myself would need. So I made a lot of progress in the space, and it was just getting to the point where, like, okay, I see this thing coming together, and Lord, I need that equipment. I need you to provide the equipment. And long story short, my mother's parents both, sorry, I gotta set this down so I can itch my face. My mother's parents both recently passed away, and they were childhood sweethearts. They met in grade school, and my grandpa saw my grandma and said, I'm going to marry her one day, and he did. But they got divorced like before I was born, so I just turned 38, so they were apart all that time. And just, I don't know, as a child, I prayed, somehow God would bring them back together. My grandpa would always like tear up when we would talk about her. Like, you could just see that he still loved her, and she just had a lot of bitterness towards him, and things that she needed to forgive him for that she couldn't, or something, and it was just really bad. And so I never got to see them be together, really, so they ended up both falling and ending up in the same rehab center, and then eventually ending up in the same assisted living home. And during that time, they did reconcile. And just all these years, God answered my prayer. I prayed that He would bring them back together so they could reconcile before they passed. And it was a miracle. It was just really cool to see the head of our family reconciling and getting some healing. And so Grandpa took a turn, for the worse, and passed away. And a couple weeks later, and she was doing great, took a fall and died the next day. It was just kind of like they had reconciled and he passed, and there just wasn't nothing left for her to do. So she went home to be with the Lord and to be with Him. And so it was really bittersweet and beautiful. And I had a really awesome visit with her a couple days before she passed. It was like probably one of the best visits I had ever had with her. So, like, you never know when the last time you're going to be with somebody is, and if you knew, what would you do differently in that moment? Like, even if I would have known, I couldn't have made that day go better, or that visit. And so God just really blessed me. The last thing I got to say to my grandma was, "You're beautiful. You always were, and you always will be." So that was just really, really cool. But anyway, I had a dream maybe like a year ago that I was in my grandparents' house, but it was my dad's parents who have, long been passed. So, but I was in their house, and there was all this new equipment there for me, like technology, folks. I mean, I'm not a technology person, so I don't know how to describe all of what I saw, but it was like technology, computers and all kinds of equipment, and I knew it was for music and other things that I would be doing. And I woke up, and somehow I felt through my grandparents that I was going to get this equipment, but I was kind of confused because they were already gone, and I don't know, it didn't even make sense to me, but I just kind of had that tucked away in the back of my mind and kept thinking about it and wondering what it really meant. And so anyway, after my mom's parents passed, I inherited some money, and it's more than enough to purchase everything that I'm going to need. So I don't know when I'm going to have time to go shopping for all this stuff, but even like, a video camera and some lighting, so you don't have to look at these horrible videos that I put out anymore. But I took that leap of faith when I started these channels, and it was very hard for me because I'm such a perfectionist, and I like to do, if I'm going to do something, I want to try to do it, right, do it good. And but it doesn't always work that way. As I was saying, sometimes God calls you out before you have everything you think you need to do it. And so sometimes you just need to just have faith, believe that He's gonna step up, and He's gonna move on your behalf when He sees an action of faith. And so that's what I did when I started these channels, and I believe wholeheartedly, because of some of these actions that I've taken by faith, that God is He's meeting me halfway, and like doors keep opening for me, connections that I'm not really seeking out, they're just coming my way. And so anyway, I'm trying to think what else I could tell you that would be relevant to all that. I'm probably going to have to just stop this video here, because if I make it go longer than 10 minutes, it's really hard for me to upload it from this tablet. So stay tuned for part 2.